So in this interview with Aldin, I'm actually going to walk through how he's pretty much been able to go from 15K a month to now hitting his record month with us, 35 or $40,000 this month, which is his first biggest ever month. And basically in this interview, we kind of go ahead and walk through like where he was at when he first came to me. He came to me about 2 months ago, really wanting to grow to that $30,000 to $40,000 a month mark. And this month, he's actually been able to hit that. And so I walked through kind of how he'd been able to do that. Obviously, his experience, having him kind of share, what he likes about us and the things that he's learned, and obviously how things have been going with our help. So with him, we've been able to add an extra $15,000 a month to his basically top line. Just from Facebook ads and also the organic marketing that we kind of go heavy on with our clients, making them that local celebrity in their market. So hopefully you enjoy this interview. If you like what you see and you want to kind of scale to that next level, you can go ahead and schedule in a call with the link in the description, and you and I can kind of get on a call and see if we can help you as well. All right, so Aldin, welcome to the interview, man. I'm glad to have you on here. I know we've been able to help you grow. It's been awesome seeing you go from where you were at when you first hopped on, obviously where you're at now. So yeah, tell everybody like basically who you are, where you're based out of, and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Aldin. I'm based out of Roanoke, Virginia, kind of like the southwest portion of Virginia. I have ran and owned Star City Pro Wash for this is going to be my third and a half year full time. And, as any other business, when I started, it took a little while to get going, build clients and all that good stuff. But, I really wanted my business to grow and take it to the next level. And through Facebook connections, I saw your posts online and really liked what I saw. It's hard to trust, someone with your business and
Yep.
spend that kind of money, to invest into your business, but to get that money back. So it's very hard for me to do, but got a really good judgment of character. And when I came across you and spoke to you, it was kind of like a no-brainer. So you made it super easy, straightforward. There was nothing that was hidden
Yeah.
in the process. So it was really cool. I was comfortable doing it, and honestly, it's probably one of the best decisions I've made with my business as far as advertising goes. I've never really done any advertising other than yard signs, but man, what you do with Facebook ads is honestly real.
Awesome, man. I love to hear that. And obviously for the people watching, I just kind of want to give a ton of value to anybody watching and like just really share like, if you're stuck at where you're at, and like if you are at, from like 5 to 10,000 a month, maybe you're so, it's like only you doing it, like I just kind of want to walk through how it was with you, because obviously you booked in that very first call with me to grow. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were at like, what was it, 8 to 20K? It was like at the very beginning of the season, right?
Yeah, so typically about March time until about June or July,
Yeah.
I'll have, my best months. So they're between that 10 to 15 to $20,000 a month. And then it slows down just like, any other pressure washing company does. It does slow down a little bit. But the consistency with the Facebook ads now, I mean, it's unreal. It's almost hard to keep up with. But yeah, it was, it's not like I was hurting for work, but I wanted to hire somebody. I actually did that last month, and this is going to be her second month full time. And yeah, it's been a really cool journey of seeing the business grow and being able to build a bigger clientele list of clients.
Got it. Yeah. So when you reached out initially, maybe it's not monetary goals, but like if you can put your head in basically where your headspace was back then, what really kind of drove you to book in a call after seeing the content, other than like knowing that we get client results, like what did you want out of it? Kind of tell everybody like, why did you want to scale? Like what were the goals?
Yeah, I mean, my goals were to honestly just grow and have the faith in other people, for my business, not just myself, because as an owner and operator, it's hard to trust other people, but um, Yeah, I mean, my biggest goal was to at least, see the growth of revenue on a monthly basis and be able to trust someone to do that for me. And seeing what you could do and realistically, just, I don't even know how to put it into words. Just taking that step and, you know, um, just trusting, just trusting someone else with your business sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
mean,
So what do you feel like is the biggest thing that you've kind of learned, man, since we started working together? Fill everybody in real quick, actually, before we dive into that. So how long have we been working together? Obviously we're helping you scale on the ad side, become more known. Tell everybody a little bit more about that. Like what do people say when they come in as a lead? Like, do they say, hey, I see you everywhere? Or like just kind of tell everybody more about like that whole aspect with the whole Facebook side. How much you spent, how long you've been working with us, how much we've been able to increase monthly revenue, all that good stuff.
yeah, so I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we became Facebook friends late last year, pretty late last year. And I saw your content and I reached out, and within, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, I booked my first call with you, just to get an idea of what you could do for me and all that good stuff. And then within just a couple of days, or within a couple of weeks, we set everything up, and then we had a goal to start advertising. I believe it was the last week of February, or
Yeah, the
was
26th.
that correct?
Yep,
Yeah.
26th of February. Yeah.
Yeah, so we launched ads, and then within, honestly, 3 or 4 days, messages just started coming in, and it caught me. I've had a big surprise, but literally every week I'm having at least 10 to 15 messages from Facebook ads, and
Yeah.
everyone's loving the ads. Everyone is, you know, it, I don't know, it's very simple. And the biggest thing that I think I've learned from this experience is just the difference with communicating with customers and your training and that sales side of it, instead of making it more saley.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
just
awesome.
personable, and don't sell yourself. Honestly, it's, just be a human, be a good person to other people, and as long as your work is good and you communicate with people,
Yeah.
there honestly isn't anything that's going to stop you.
Yeah. Love it, man. Yeah, I'm glad you got a lot of value out of the sales side. For any of those, watching, like, just kind of break this down. I told Aldin this at the very beginning of when we started working together. There's a lot of ad agencies out there that just kind of set up some ads, or they just kind of run ads, and that's all they do. They don't communicate with you. They don't send monthly reports, and they also don't help you with anything else. But like Alden, I mean, you have experienced this like firsthand, right? I mean, like we've helped you with the content side. You actually had pretty good content before we started working together.
Yeah.
But content, foundation and audience, lead flow, sales, back end systems, also being a part of the group, also, the calls, the communication between us. It all tailors into one, and you're all going to have pretty much everything dialed in for it to work really well. So yeah, we started around like you said, late February on the 26th.
Yep.
And so kind of walk everybody through. I mean, it's only been a month and a half, almost 2 months. So yeah, February, March, April. Yeah, so almost 2 months here. 18th is obviously today, so we've got about another week and a half for the 26th there. So yeah, I guess fill everybody in on numbers, man. Where are you looking in terms of how much we've spent, how much we've made back, how many new customers have kind of come in since then?
Yeah. So since we've started, I've spent about $1,500 on Facebook ads, and I've gained well over $22,000 of
Mhm.
of work scheduled. So the return on the investment was absolutely well worth it. I don't think I would ever change it, to be honest with you. If I had
Yeah.
nothing else, Facebook ads would cover my month for the most part. So yeah, 93 messages in a month and a half, or leads. And then yeah, in literally a month and a half, about $22,000 of ad revenue. So it
Yeah.
was a really cool number to see. And you keep me up to date on a monthly basis, and we have biweekly calls. And yeah, just like you said, it's not. I had someone doing a Facebook ad for me before, and it was just set up, and never really heard anything from the guy. But I mean, this is just a whole nother level of
Mhm.
communication and doing business as far as advertising goes with you. So
Yeah.
yeah, I believe my goal gauge was what was it, like eight to $14,000 a month extra that I wanted, as far as revenue goes.
From us.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think when we first started, man, I think we were like, if we spent like 25 to 30 a day in ad spend, and I said, with it being our first couple months, I always set expectations for like, if we can make you anywhere from like 5 to like 10K a month within the first couple of months, because that's like the building time, then it'd be a
Sure.
win. So I think that's where we set expectations at. Um, and for, obviously I'm going to share my screen here, kind of go over the first month report here, but for those of you watching, you can see my screen here and, there's tons of wins that you have closed here. And so first month report actually was sent on the 28th. So we spent about, $923. This was just in the first month and a half. Obviously, 1,500 is from, the first month and almost 2 months, almost another month later. So 923 in ad spend, brought them back 14.8K, which 16x ROI, man. That's in your first month. And I think a lot of it for like those of you watching too, and I know you're big on content, like you were pretty good on content before we even started. We still have to get your face out there, but other than that, I mean, you've got pretty solid content. I think that's a big pillar when it comes to running effective ads. So um, yeah, man, I mean, you came into it and we were like, yeah, if we can make 5 to 10K per month for you, yeah, I mean, you crushed that. You blew that out of the water in the first month. So 14.8K. And then also I think we've gotten, 65 messages / leads. And yeah, I mean, we were getting tons of leads probably per day. And so obviously now total return here, 22.6K in the last month and a half. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty much on pace to probably add an extra, what, 12 to or 10 to, well, I mean, how much do you think you'll have for the second month, you think?
So I sent you the last numbers. I believe it was, let's see, I believe it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, the 1390 close, 350,
Yeah.
690, 250. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 3 days ago. I honestly have about 15 estimates that I'm still
Yeah.
waiting on answers for. So by the end of this month, it could be another, within a week and a half, it could be another $10,000 to $15,000 for this month.
Yeah. And that's so big, dude. Like people
It's
come in,
crazy.
dude, so many people come into the business and they're like, man, they think that that is like fake. Like the 10 to 15K that we make people per month. Obviously it depends. Some people are making less, some people are making way more. But like as long as you have the three pillars dialed in that we help you with and we maintain and build for you, content, foundation, lead flow, sales, like all three of those or all four of those mixed together, you're going to be able to spend money, make money back. And the same with Aldin. I mean, every dollar we put in, we make $16 back. It's pretty, you're literally printing money at that point. So yeah, I'm excited, man, because like obviously when you first joined, you said you were doing it anywhere from like 8 to 20K. I know that's a pretty big range, but I know you're basing that off of last year's average. Um, and what are you about to hit actually last month, like entirely, or this month? Like, what are you going to hit for the whole, like
But
including everything?
yeah, I am on pace to, it would be $32,000 as of right now for the
Sweet.
month of April.
Is that your biggest month yet?
It will be my biggest month yet, man.
Let's go. Awesome.
$24,000 in March. And I thought that was crazy, but yeah, it's been unreal. Honestly,
That's awesome, man.
I wish I would have done it sooner. But yeah, it's been great. I couldn't really say much more positive things about this
Awesome.
gig that you've got going on with Facebook ads. It is really cool.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So yeah, that's awesome that you hit your first or your biggest month ever with us. That's awesome. So we started this in like late April. When do you usually run for? Like until the end of the year? I'm just trying to see what we're projected to do if we're able to maintain around these numbers for the rest of the year.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, so like how long until you work for? Like basically like does your season end in October or do you run through the whole entire year? I'm just trying to figure out like if we base what we're making you basically so far, what's that going to equate to if we do this until, you know,
Yeah, man. Honestly, it would probably be around Christmas time, right before Christmas,
Yeah.
is when I'll stop, depending on the weather. Last year we didn't have much of a winter, so it was 3 weeks. It was this first week of January up until the last week of January. And that was all the downtime that I really had.
Yeah. Got it. So what's that? Probably about 8, 9 months or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be at least 10 months of work time
Okay.
from
Yeah.
February until December.
Got it. So about, I'll just do 10 here or 9 here. So if we're on pace, we do 15K for you per month. Obviously, I know that's probably going to depend a lot. You're going to have slower months, you're going to have way bigger months. But, even if this is close to 100K that we bring in for you this year, dude, that's insane. That's awesome. And this is your first year with us. So I think that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I
I'm
mean,
so happy for you.
yeah, I did the numbers just 2 weeks ago, after doing my taxes. And last year, my total revenue was $167,000. And that was my second year, which was great. My first year was 85,000, and it doubled the second year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the pace that I'm on this year and with your additional revenue, I'm hoping to double it again. I mean, sky's the limit. So,
That'll be
yeah.
awesome. Man. That's awesome. So what's the future looks like for you now, man? You've been able to, I know with us, like this is just kind of the beginning, it's only been a month and a half. We've still got a lot of growth to do. And I think like just consistency, bringing in an extra 10K or more per month for you is going to be insane. But like, other than that, obviously bringing in more jobs, bringing in more customers, you kind of have to build a little bit. So like, tell everybody what your future is with the business. What's your next goals aside from just monetary?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. It's something I've been asking myself for months,
Yeah.
honestly, even before hiring Serena, which is my first ever employee full time. She started first week of March. And I believe I told you just because I was getting so busy, I didn't know what to do by the time I manage everything. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, for my goal for this year is honestly here in about a month, she'll be in the truck by herself working, and being able to go out and do work herself. But if it stays the way it is and it keeps on going, I'm gonna eventually have to get out of the truck and hire someone else. That way she can, train them and have a helper. Because like we were talking about, 10 to 15 leads nearly every single week, and then normal customers through websites and clientele that I've built throughout the years. It's a
Mhm.
lot to manage. It's a lot to keep up with. So never owning a business before, never doing this before. It's all a learning process, but I don't know, it's almost scary to kind of see, myself get out of the truck and
Yeah.
be able to leave her at a job site and go do estimates because
Yeah.
there'd be no way I could keep up with all the workflow that's coming in.
Yeah.
So whether that's hiring someone in sales or hiring someone else to get in the truck, I'm not sure exactly, but
Yeah.
I have no choice but to grow if I want to get to all the clients that are reaching
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, man. At your stage, you're already experiencing this, but I mean, you're gonna have to. The cool thing about business, man, and I'm also learning this as well, is like at a certain point, you have to learn how to one be a really good leader and how to attract really good potential people to be a part of your team, how to lead them to be the best at whatever they do, and then for you to just kind of understand and see value in delegating. That's going to be a big thing that you're going to walk through. But if you want to keep doubling, make a lot of money, that's definitely going to be a big part of it. And so, yeah, man, another good thing about working with us, man, is like if you ever need to talk with like any of our guys that do, I don't know, 500, 600 million a year, 2 million a year, like literally reach out to me and I can assign you a private coach. Like if you want to work with somebody, or not even just work with somebody, but just hop on a phone call with some of our guys. I mean, they love to help people and they're doing good numbers. That way you can kind of just analyze like what the next steps are going to look like for you. So that's another thing, man, is like we actually genuinely care for you and everybody that we work with. And I know a lot of people can kind of see that. So I know it's a big thing kind of going to that next level. So I just wanted to let you know that if you need any help there. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I've already used one of your contacts, the 180 sites.
yeah,
I started that in February, and it's been awesome. The network of people that you bring
yeah,
and the Facebook group. Uh, I've asked questions and I've gotten answers that, I don't know everything. I'm still learning almost every single day. So being able to have that community of guys that are just willing to help each other and grow and see others grow is it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, man. I'll tell you this after the call, by the way, but I'll mention it briefly. We're actually going to be partnering with another company here soon, and if you're looking to actually like develop the business, hire, build systems, I'll talk to you that later about the call, but I can probably point you to someone, just so that way you can delegate and you're not like having to do a ton of the work, delegate, build, rather than be in the actual business. But yeah, man, I guess so. You mentioned earlier on the sales side, lead flow has been great and you've been able to make a lot of money. And you also said that on the sales side, you've been able to kind of learn some stuff in our sales training. Can you kind of mention that a little bit more and like what has stood out to you? What have you been implementing?
Yeah, so I don't know how, I guess to make it simple, you always want to close tickets. And for the most part, they weren't done. I would always go to customers and do an estimate in person, but I would always send out the estimate over email or via text message. And honestly, one of the biggest things I've learned is take that extra 5 minutes with the client when you are at their house. If you are doing it in person, close it right then and there. Set expectations, get expectations from them, and just communicate as if they were your next door neighbor. I mean, it's about as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of sales videos or things that I've watched, it's very pushy, and it works for some people, but being completely honest, watching some of the sales or some of the videos of what you guys do and some of what the what are, hmm, what have some of what your clients have done as far as sharing some of those videos of closing in person and becoming a friend of the customer. It just makes everything go smoother.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So for those of you going in person and then not giving the quote while you're there, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It makes no sense. Why would you waste time to go in person and not close the spot right there?
For
People,
sure.
yeah, so that's why we train. I mean, a lot of the sales is just like common sense, but people just kind of overlook it. At least it's common sense to me because I've been in it forever. But like, I'm glad you've been able to implement that because it's a no-brainer, and I feel like you're doing a customer a disservice if you're going in person, not getting it handled right away. But awesome. So basically, closing deals on the spot, just kind of learning how to help and serve people and kind of guide them through processes, set those expectations. Is there anything else that you've learned or either on the sales side or on the organic marketing training that we've got as well? Whether it's, I know we've got a lot of marketing material in there too.
Man, I'm sure there is, but just like earlier, you messaged me and I was like, it was, I think, 30 or 40 minutes before our meeting, and I was packing up a job site to get home and get ready for this meeting. I mean, it's just so busy, and I don't know. There's so much information that you guys bring to the table, and
Yeah.
I wish I could say more, but my mind is all over the place. I got like 15 other estimates, people to call, and all that good stuff. But no, man, everything that y'all bring to the table, it all speaks for itself.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, yeah, I think we've kind of dove into, a lot of things here. I think we've kind of explained where you're at, where you're at now. Some of the goals, obviously you building the business a bit more, learning how to delegate, all that stuff. So I'm excited to see where you're going to be here in the next, couple months or even a year. Maybe we can even have another one of these when you have a bigger team. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, I look forward to obviously continuing to work together, man. It's only been 1.5 months and there's still a lot we kind of need to do, a lot of consistency, and a lot more money to be made. So yeah, man, I just want to thank you for coming on again. Before we wrap it up though, obviously I ask everybody this question, and obviously you're probably going to say do it, but like, what would you say to those people on the fence that are looking to start? And since I always ask that question, I'm going to try to ask a more different question this time. You were in the same spot before working with us, right? I mean, you might have been on the fence. There's a bunch of different ad agencies out there that can't be trusted. What made me stand out that you liked about me, and what made you hop over the fence to start working with us?
Oh gosh, man.
putting you
I
on.
think it was from the initial contact of just talking with you, and naturally just a good judge of character of, I believe in karma. You're either a good person and you serve others the way you want to be served, or you don't. And from the first day, that's exactly what I got from you until today. And I'm sure in the future I will get that going forward. But man, for anyone that is looking to grow their business, Gage is the guy. I mean, there's a guy, 45 miles from me. Um, I think he's a little over an hour away. His name is Mark, and y'all had spoken, and I was basically trying to sell you to him to do it because he's an older gentleman. He does good work, but he deserves it and he needs it. He was in the situation that I was in of being able to trust someone and spend that little bit of extra money to get that return back. Um, and for well over a week, I spoke with him. I was like, look, just do it. Trust Gage. I guarantee you're going to make money. I mean, if you close 2 or 3 jobs a month just from ads, you're at least getting your money back. But you're doing something wrong if you're only closing 2 or 3 jobs a month.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the way I say it, man, is like we help you with so much. So it's like if you genuinely follow what we tell you to do and the ads are working, there's no way you're gonna lose money. Because we show you how to attract leads, we get leads to you, and we even show you how to sell them. It's like in what world would that not make sense? So
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, you remember this, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Facebook went down, Messenger went down,
oh yeah, I
and
remember that.
I couldn't message my customers back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, you went in there and actually wrote to them and told me what you did. And, what more could you ask for from someone that,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I was mind blown that you did that, just
Yeah.
like I said earlier. I mean, I wouldn't do this with anyone else, honestly. I mean, you're young. I'm a young guy, but you're what, 21, 20, 22?
20. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal for your age, what you bring to the table and the consistency and how high you put the podium, to push, you know, this for your clients. And it's really cool. And I applaud you for it, for your age.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, as a business, you've got to be there to serve. Reputation will come with the service that you do. So that's, what I've always said. So, other than that, man, I guess, is there anything else you want to go over or say, or we pretty much good to wrap it up, man?
No, I would honestly just want to thank you again. I really do hope here in maybe even 6 months, do another interview. It might be a year because it's going to take some time for me to take those next steps. But I've got to trust others and just allow it to naturally happen. But yeah, no, if anyone's looking to grow their business, no matter what the service is, because you've got guys in your group that are doing paving, that are sealing, that are doing all kinds of stuff. And if it's a service business, no questions asked. It's well worth every single penny.
Awesome. I love it, man. I had a fun time today, man. I'm looking forward to doing another one down the line and seeing where you're able to get to. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you hopping on here and kind of sharing your experience. So we will chat again soon, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
See you
Appreciate
later,
it.
man. Bye-bye.
Yeah.